Welcome to pericardium protection. So coming to place your hands to your heart. Settle here and standing. Be aware of your connection with the earth through your feet. Coming to bring the lower arms together. Making a container with your hands. So today we are exploring the pericardium that surrounds the heart. Most of it, not all of it. It's going to protect its contents. I'm going to let the arms reach up and swing down. Bringing the hands in prayer to the heart. It's not actually touching. We're taking the stance a bit wider. So the pericardium has several layers. It has an outer and an inner, and it has fluid between the two. Serous fluid. And we're going to bend to the left. Take the arm out and come back in. Bending both and opening. Turning into warrior two. We're keeping the lower body in the direction it is, and the upper body we're turning, taking the arms up, returning to wide arms, coming up, returning to wide arms, and coming up once more. From here, we're going to just let the left arm come over. And we'll turn. And we'll get ready to do it again on the other side. So bend and open. Wide arms and legs. Warrior two. And then bringing the torso and the arms forwards. Turning again. One more time. From here, if we straighten that leg, arc back. And then coming to the heart, this time touching, letting legs come back in. So, meridian, we're tapping on the left side of the heart. We're coming up, down the middle of the arm, right into the middle finger tip, and then the other side. I'm going to allow both arms to extend and make very subtle backward pulses. Then the arms bend, palms together, but you're not touching the heart. And then we're going to push the palms a little more strongly and then release. Push a little bit more strongly, then release. Push a little bit more strongly and then release. From here, we're taking the arms, we're lacing the fingers at the back. So you can have the elbows bent, you can have them lengthened. This will open you up in the front. Release the hands and just come to rub either side of the sacrum. So we're traveling to the pericardium meridian in the legs. So we're coming now by rolling to the outsides of the feet. We have the seam of the leggings or trousers. We're just coming a little in front and tapping down to the instep. And then we're tapping all the way back up. And we have another flow in standing. We're going to take the left arm. It's crossing under the right at the elbows. We can stay in a V like this, or we can twist it around. We're trying to keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. We have a few pulses up. Then we're taking the left leg. It's coming over. You can stay on the ball, or you could bend and take the foot off. Whichever one you've chosen, this leg now comes back behind. We're doing a deep lunge forwards, still with those arms. And then we're keeping the legs where they are. We're opening the arms again. The hands are coming to the hips. We are lengthening both legs. Into pyramid. So feel that the tailbones pushing back one way, the crown the other. Then we're taking it a little bit deeper. The hands may or may not touch the floor. You could keep them on the leg. We're bringing the hands back to the pelvis. We have that elongation again. Pushing the pelvis back, reaching both forwards and backwards. Up we come. Coming back to where we started, but we're on the ball of the foot. We're going to bend into a chair. So you can either stay here, or you can lift the foot, or you could place the foot above the knee. Releasing that. The other side. So we have the right arm. It's coming under the left at the elbow. Makes a V. We can let that stay where it is, or we can bind it round. Here, some pulses. We'll let that be still. And then we're going to take that right leg. It's crossing over onto the ball. You can stay there, or you could bend. You might even take the foot off. Whichever you've chosen, that foot now comes back. We have a deep fold forwards, keeping the same arm configuration until we release it and open back. We straighten the front leg. We bring the hands to the hips. We hinge forwards. We come into a deeper fold. Then we're coming back. From here, if you bend the front leg, bring the back one in. We're on the ball of the foot. We're then bending down into the chair. You can keep the right heel up. You might be able to lift the foot. It might come on to the leg above the knee. And release out of this. We'll give our shoulders a circle. The other way. And now we're going to transition down to hands and knees. I need a little time to readjust my camera, and I'll meet you there in a moment. So we're going to arc up, draw everything in, and then down. Feel that the heart is traveling up, and then the heart is traveling down. Once more. We're doing a similar thing, but with two other moves. So we're coming into a downward facing dog. From here, we come down onto our knees. We take the hands forwards here, and we shift the weight and bring the heart through. It's up to you how far the pelvis comes down. So those are the two movements. We're going to come back up into the downward dog. So most of you will need to bring the knees down first. Some of you might be able to go from here into this one and then come back up. I'm going to go the first way again. The knees come down, take the arms forwards and through. And I'm going to do one the other way. Find the one that suits you. You will need strong wrists if you're going to do this one. And then we'll finish in a downward dog. And come all the way down and have a little rest in a child position of your choice. And then we're coming to our first flow down here. We're moving to the left and we're making really big circles. We're then taking the hands to the right so the left leg can come through. We're coming up, you'll probably lose my head. And we're pushing the weights here. After this push, the hands are coming down. And this front leg, we're going to try to lengthen it. It might be a little bit, it might be a lot. You can slide the foot forward, see what's comfortable for you. So we're here. We're keeping the right fingers and thumb or palm down. And the left one is coming up. So we have a little twist here. Then we come back down, we bend, we take the weight forward. We're going to take the left arm back, and it might stay there. For some of you, depending on how your knee and how your leg feels, particularly the knee, you have a couple of options. You can curl the toes under, and you could place the foot up. This is quite strong. Once you're there, you can twist. But it will really depend on the strength and flexibility of your knee. If you start to come into it and it doesn't feel right, then return to this. From here, both hands to the right so that this left leg can start to circle. And then we'll bring it into our tiger balance. The back comes down. And we'll explore it on the other side. So this time we're making big circles to the right. And take a pause. The hands come to the left so the right leg can come through. We're coming up here. I'm going to find our push. Pushing the waves. So this is to connect into the fluid inside the inner and outer layer of the pericardium. We are bringing the hands down. We're finding a way to create a little bit more length in this right leg. We're going to let the left hand be down and see if we can bring up the right. We have a twist here. If that doesn't feel right, then stay folded over the front leg. This arm is coming down. And then we're going to bend that front leg. We're going to take the right arm back. But this is where you might stay. You might want to bring the toes under, and you'll have a sense about the knee now. To lift the foot, the weight has to come a little bit further forwards. And you take hold to there, and there's a possibility of a twist. But you can see there's quite a bit of weight going into the knee, so it's not going to suit a lot of people. So if you're in this twisty one, come out of it. We'll join those of you that have the toes curled under. We'll take the hands down so we can free the right leg. Readjust the hands so we can start to circle this leg. We'll have different speeds and sizes, but then we'll take it into the balance. Again, it could be a parallel one, it could be an open one. And then we'll bring that down. From here, we're coming to a kneeling position. So most of you come to a high kneeling place. I'm actually going to go to a low kneeling place so that you can see my arms. Here, we're bringing the arms up, and as you can see, I'm going to take hold of the elbows. We're pulsing the right elbow towards the left. And then we're circling it in that direction too. And we'll change. So the left, we're pulsing to the right. And then we're going to circle it. And we'll bring that down. We're coming now to a high child. We'll have the toes curled under. If possible, we're going to extend the arms. If it's not, then have the elbows bent. Extending it, whichever, extended or bent, wiggle the middle finger, then let it settle, and just feel the reach through the middle finger for the pericardium meridian. And I'm going to slide the arms back in, push on up. Going to turn the hands, come onto the fists, which might feel a bit weird. It changes the organization of the shoulders. And then just taking a few in breaths, allow the out breaths and feel what's happening in the shoulder blade area, or between the shoulder blades. Then we have the left hand down, the right arm scoops through. So this is a movement that we do quite often. We're now going to add a variation. We're going to take the top hand, place it on the bottom. If you don't feel stable, then come back. If you do feel stable, stay there. And then you might want to try and just take it slowly. If you start to feel unstable, come down. We're going to bend the elbows. We bring that back and we push on up. I will swivel round. So we can do it on the other side. So it'll be the other arm this time. It's going to slide through. If you're not going for the other movement, there's lots you can do here. You could kind of pulse the shoulder back or the elbow. So the one we've just introduced, the hand, top hand comes to the lower one. And then we bend the elbows. We find our way out of this. We have another child position. This time we're bringing the big toes towards each other. That makes the knees come out a bit wider. So rather than parallel, they come out here. We're coming down onto the lower arms and we're trying to lower the heart down. The heart and the chin. So this is the preparation for a puppy pose. Some people are able to extend the arms and bring the chest and chin forward, but I think for most of us, we will be more comfortable here. I'm going to come out of this one. I'm back and have a little shake out. You might need to come up onto high kneeling to do that. And I'm going to come into our flow. Last one on hands and knees. So we're taking the right leg. I might need to come back a bit actually. So I come here. So we're taking the right leg, it's coming out, the toes are forward. We're bending the elbows, heart towards the earth. We come back up. We have our twisted child again. We come back out. The extended leg is going to come forward. So we'll take both hands to the left so the right leg can come through. We come up again like we did before. You're going to lose my head, but you don't need to see that for this one. And we're going to take the arms forwards and back. So we have the dove here. Then we are bringing the left hand in front of the leg here. The other arm is extending behind. And we can push the knee and the hand towards each other, which will help our twist. We can push the arm and the hand back. To make it a little bit more engaged, we can curl the back toes under. So I don't think this is for most of you, but there is a possibility from here that the weight comes forwards and you can push that up. But my sense is that most of us will be here. Then we're going to come out of that, bring the hands down. We're going to then try to bring that back leg in. So we have a fold here. In the fold, we're taking the right hand and we're just popping it under the toes. The legs can stay bent. They might lengthen. See what's available and comfortable for you. Trying to keep the weight relatively forward rather than swinging back. Then we release the hand. To get the hands flat down, you might need to obviously bend at the knees here. I'm coming onto hands and knees again. And I will turn to the other side. So here we are. It's the left leg this time. It extends, the toes are forwards. We bend at the elbows and they're drawing back towards the body and the heart comes down. So the elbows will come down, the heart comes down, but not actually to the floor. We come back up. We're going to take the right arm through the twisted child. You might need to adjust the top one to stabilize you. And then we'll find our way out of that. The hands then come to the right, so you can bring this left leg forwards here. Then we come up. We're going to find our wings forwards and back. You find your speed, whatever feels good for you. Then we are taking the right hand to the outside of the left knee, the other arm coming directly back. We can now curl the toes under. So most of us, my senses will stay here. There might be a possibility, but you need a lot of strength here to take your weight forward and bring that knee up. But my sense is that we'll stay with it down and come down. So from here, the back leg comes in. We're going to have the knees bent. I'm going to place this time the left hand underneath. Some of you might lengthen the legs. Releasing the hands, finding our way now into a sitting position. So at the moment, sit however you like. We're coming right back to the beginning. I'm going to connect with our hearts. And you might feel some movement as the breath comes in and out. And then we are creating this kind of cup-like container. The sense that we could hold our hearts in our hands. And just let it turn. So there's a responsiveness. There needs to be movement to accommodate the heartbeat, the breath, the other pulsating organs that are connected to the pericardium, the lungs, above the diaphragm, the stomach, below. Then we're going to bring the left leg in front. Now you have lots of options. You can keep the leg up. It could be bent out a little bit. It might drop down. You might be able to bring the foot to the calf. You might be able to get the heel to the groin. So this is our half lotus. And we're twisting to the left. We're twisting back. We're taking the right arm, sliding it forwards. The left arm is coming on a high back diagonal. We're going to look towards it. So you're moving in two directions, down and up. And it's a small twist. Slide back in. The hands either on the mat or on your legs. And just find some circles with the rib cage and its organs. Going to the left. We'll find a stillness. And change to the other side. So you could have the foot up when you're twisting, obviously. Just taking the arm round. It could be open a little bit, it could be open a big bit. The foot might come to the calf, the heel might come to the groin. We're turning to the right. We're turning back. The left hand is reaching forwards. The right one is coming up and back. We'll look like twisting towards it, but at the same time, we're also reaching forwards. We'll come back in and find our circles to the right. We'll let this settle. And then we have our knees. If it's comfortable to the left, you could have them kind of 90-90, you could have them closer. You could even have this leg lengthened if that feels better for you. So find your comfortable place. We are twisting towards that front knee. We are twisting the other way. We are twisting into a reach or a lift. So the hand comes down, you can reach through, you might possibly take that into a lift. And then we bring that down. We take the hands, palms forwards from the heart. We have a push, pull, creating a wave. Then we turn over the front leg. We take the hands, the back hip will now lift off, and we're very slowly coming down. So it might be to the elbows and lower arms. Hands. You might be able to slide the arms and come lower. So the deer, I'm going to rest here. You might need to wiggle around a bit to find where you're comfortable. And then sliding our way back up, reorganizing for the other side. And it might be different for you on this side, so the leg organization might be different. It might be close in, you might need to lengthen the leg. So we're twisting to the front leg, which is the other side this time. And then twisting the other way. So the spine reaches up and down and rotates simultaneously. And we're coming back, the right hand is going to support there. We have a reach through, possibly for some of you, a lift. And the arm will come back around and into some wave arms, pushing and pulling forwards and back. Then we will turn. So we're coming down into the deer. You find how low you can go comfortably and then find your resting place. then sliding all the way back up, choosing how you'd like to organize your legs. We're back to the meridians. So, side of the heart, tapping through into the palm, out to the middle finger, and then we'll come round and tap the other side. We let the arms come out, we have that very subtle pulse back. Then we're taking a hand, we're cupping it, the opposite thumb right into the well that's made through the cupped hand here, into there. So acupressure point on the pericardium meridian, sometimes called palace of anxiety, and it helps to calm the heart. And in the traditional Chinese medicine, that will include the mind. So feeling settled, easy. So the pericardium's job is to deal with whatever's happening so that the heart can remain more settled. Make the little well on the other side, the opposite thumb coming in. So you can keep your thumb still. You might want to circle it around. So we're only staying a short while, possibly 2 to 3 minutes at home on your own. And then we are taking hold of the elbows at the back here. Let the shoulders roll back. Release the elbows and rub either side of the sacrum. Then extended butterfly. So we're just above the seam of the leggings or trousers, and we're tapping all the way down to the oh, you can't see me there, can you? All the way down to the instep, and then all the way back up. And we come to our final flow here. So we are letting the feet come in. We're going to cross the arms, left over right. We have hold of our knees and we are just pressing them down, and we'll forward fold. We bring the knees back up. We're going to try to balance here. Some of you might need to keep your hands under your knees because we're now going to widen our legs. So you probably need to. And then we're going to try and take them into the boat. It could be a full one, or if I go back, you could come into a half one. And then from there, we're back into the balanced butterfly. So again, we're going to come out Then either full or half butterfly and down. I've just done 2 rounds. The feet come down a bit wider than parallel. The arms coming through for the turtle tortoise. They can either stay straight, or it might be that you can bend at the elbows and they become the back legs there. We're curving through the spine, creating a shell. So most of you will stay here. There is a possibility for some people to be able to extend down, which I've done before. But in the main, we're going to be up here, creating our shell. And then we are releasing out. The right leg will lengthen, the left leg will bend. We're going to lift up. We're going to fold the heart down. When the heart is as far down as it can comfortably go, you can then release the rest. We're coming back up. And we start again. So, soles of the feet together here with the knees a bit higher. We take the right arm over this time and so we're pressing down, we're pressing out, and we're forward folding. We bring the knees back in. We take hold either of the ankles, feet, or under the knees, whichever one you want. We have a butterfly. It's then going to open wide. It's then coming in, either with straight or bent legs. And then it's coming back down. We'll do it once more. When it comes down this time, we're coming a bit wider than parallel. So you've got straight arms coming forwards, or you could have bent arms and it rotates with your little back legs. You can stay high here with a rounded back. For anyone that has the availability, you can slide down. But again, my sense is we're more up here. I'm going to find our way out so that we can then lengthen the left leg. And the right, we have that lovely lift up. So we're sliding forward, we're bringing the heart. So we're lengthening through the spine. The heart comes down, and then we release anything else. We're coming back out of this. We are reorganizing. We have a little on our fronts, and we're coming straight into our Sphinx position. Find a way that you're comfortable here. If you draw the buttock muscles together, if you draw in the abdominals, this will support you here. I'm going to slowly lower this down. without the head touching. Then we're going to draw in the abdominals and the gluteus muscles and just see if we can lift the sphinx a tiny bit and lower. So twice more, just a teensy bit and lower. Just one more small bit and lower. We're then taking the left arm. It's going to come down by the side. We're going to turn our head to the right. The palm is down, the elbows up in the air. We're going to lengthen the right leg. It's coming up. You're rolling onto your left side. You can stay with the leg bent and hanging, or it might come down onto the tippy toes or to the soles. It might be possible for some of you to take your heel into your palm. So you have a twist here. We'll roll that back through and do the other side. So it will be the right arm down by the side of the body, the left palm down, the elbows up. We've turned our head that way. We're going to lengthen that left leg. We're going to roll onto the right. I'm going to bend this leg. It can hang here. You might find that it rests on tippy toes. You might be able to bring the foot down. You might, if you see my little hand there, be able to get the heel into the hand. You could lower the head right down. It might be more comfortable to lengthen it out. Just see what suits you. We're then rolling all the way back. We're going to bring the arm alongside the head. Give those middle fingers a wiggle jiggle. You can either rest chin, forehead, or keep the head lengthened away from the mat. We draw in the abdominals, the gluteus muscles. If we want more support, and we're just going to slide, leading with the middle finger. Just slide in here. And then I'm going to rest down on the forehead if that's possible, or the chin. And to bring the hands, if they'll reach to the back of the heart, give a little rub. Then we'll lift the head up, see if we can get the hands underneath the projecting hip bones. We have kind of wings of our arms. We're going to bring the chest up a little bit and also bring the elbows towards each other and back. Two more. Then we release the hands. Palms down, elbows up. And just see if you can find some movement here through the elbows and shoulders. Take a pause. Reach the arms forwards again, but lift up the chest. Slide back into your sphinx. From here, back into a child position of your choice. High, low, parallel, wide. Arms forwards, arms back. Protecting the front of the heart. And then gradually coming out of this moving in a way that suits you until you can find a comfortable sitting position to finish. We'll bring our hands, prayer, but this time connected to the heart. Close the eyes. And just notice your internal environment, the movement, the tingles, the comfy, the uncomfy, the vibrations, rises, falls. And while we're doing this, we'll also have an awareness of our external environment through sound, through the touch of air on our skin, noticing how it makes us feel, what it tells us about our environment. We'll add in our sight by softly opening our eyes. Light, color, texture, shape. And from my inner and outer worlds to yours, thank you all very much. So you have time for yourself now to make adjustments for whatever you're doing next. You might have time just to be here. So I'll leave you in your own tender hands. And thank you once again for sharing pericardium protection with me.